What's up, guys? Kunal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Dudes, happy Thursday. Hopefully, everybody's having an awesome day. A great, fantastic action in the stock market of the last few days. The market was down today. We're sinking down a little bit more because of the Dell earnings. But we were down today, but you can see here it's been a pretty healthy pullback so far. So what I want to talk to you guys today, we're going to go into the market indexes, then we're going to go into our watch list. We'll take a look at the debacle of Dell earnings too and see how that might impact some stocks tomorrow. Let's get first a look at the QQQ. So first of all, dude, we have a breakout spot, and we're about to retest this thing. And so far, we're just kind of pulling back. This is our average volume here. We're pulling back on a fairly light volume. I still don't think there's anything to cry home about in terms of like, oh my gosh, like, listen, we're up huge, 20% in the last couple months. We pull back, 2%? Like, that's not the end of the world. We're retesting. That's what stocks are supposed to do. So far, the bull is still strong. The SPY right back into support too. I think that tomorrow we're setting up maybe for a little bit of a turnaround if this Dell earnings doesn't shamonger like all the chip stocks and stuff like that. But the market bounce is probably coming next either Friday or Monday, and we want these levels to hold. If they don't hold, then we may undercut it a little bit, and then that puts us in a little bit more of a riskier territory where we got to kind of come back here. But we might be invalidating some of this, right? This awesome, beautiful short-term trend that we've been on. Now, we have been up above the 9 EMA for about 20 days. And so, turning back and retesting and kind of pulling back into the bone zone here is actually a positive thing. We want to see that. So let's dig into that a little bit. Now, let's take a look here and just take a look at the Dell earnings, because I think that's kind of knocked the market down a little bit into the post-market. So this thing is down 20%. So the earnings missed view, stock declined. So if you go here, first quarter earnings declined more than expected as weakness in the consumer segment weighed in on client solutions, blah, blah, blah. And so, they missed it by a little bit here. We'll see what's going on. But this is a 22% move, which is, pretty gnarly. But the big hairy Indian butt is that, we're still above the breakout spot. We've given back. When you think about this, guys, you want to always take this stuff with a grain of salt. Yes, it's nasty. Down 20% is never good, but we've given back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days worth of gains, right? This is a stock that's come a long way in the last year. Yeah, you're down 20%. They missed on their earnings. And when you're up a lot, it's a lot different than if you're basing down here, right? If you're basing down here and you miss earnings, you might actually still go up because, it's priced in for, you're priced in to be a turd. When you're going up like this, straight up into, your earnings, there's nowhere really to go except, right? If a slight miss, you can have this kind of thing happen. So just got to be mindful of that. I probably won't trade this at all tomorrow, but, you have some levels, right? I kind of think probably somewhere in this zone will be some support, but you don't want to step in front of the train. Like when I don't catch falling knives. So for me, this is just a no-go, but probably something we're just monitoring. And who cares about this stuff anyways? There's a lot of stocks that are going. The market was hot today. You had solar stocks going. We were playing all these solars, Ron, EMPH. Dude, I took this thing out of the gate. The calls on this, and dude, they were, these things were flying. These things were $1.50, ran to $4.50. That's the cool thing sometimes with the calls on some of these things that have more stuck inside range. When they go, they really explode pretty fast. So let's take a look at the watch list and the game plan for tomorrow. As you guys know, Fridays are usually very volatile because of the options expiration. We want to kind of be really, really ready to party. This CRDO had earnings out, swings to earnings, revenue rises, so on and so forth. Nice breakout here. This is a former IPO stock from just a couple years old company. Pretty low float, $3 billion company. Good sweet spot of not small cap, not mid cap. You're kind of right in between. You broke out, pull back. Nice grinder. I think this is prime time for tomorrow. Week open. Let's go for a red to green on that. This Huma came out of a flag pattern today. I think this one is like, reminds me a little bit of ASTS. I think this is another one we can, if you get a light open on this, we could probably play this for a day 2. If not, if we get an inside day on this, then I think it'd be set up for, I think it would be setting up for Monday. Burlington Coat Factory, big range break here. Let's keep an eye on the previous day, this 240 level. If we start to take it out, I think that's going to have some fun and games. This Nova, as long as it doesn't pull a Maxon, right? It's got a nice spot to it. You're right into the breakout spot. Look at this. Pop up, pull back, beautiful, beautiful God-fearing Christian range right there. Like, that's what we want to be in, right? We want to be in this kind of action, this kind of, got decent liquidity, 7.8 million shares. You don't want to be in too much liquidity. That's when you usually get a lot of churnouts and stuff like that. This is a good sweet spot. Zscaler, earnings, revenues rise, net income. The stock's been left for dead. It pulled back, about 30, 40%. Maybe it's got a little squeeze in it. Let's see how it reacts tomorrow. I did not, I saw crowd was in the shitter today. So, there's a little bit of, dichotomy in both of these today. But let's see what goes on this. I want to add this. Now, this NIO, for those of you guys that like these kind of cheaper names, you got breakout, pullback, 70 million shares of volume. Beautiful trender. This thing never moves very good. Nice trender on this. Dude, it's liquid. It's a trender. Tomorrow's Friday. This is a good time for these kind of names. I don't like trading small caps, but this is a $10 billion company. It's going to move just fine. Run, we were messing with all these solars today. I think this one, week opens on this tomorrow. Like, we want to be in this. I think they run tomorrow if the market doesn't get fandazzled. This is probably my favorite chart out of the group. You've got this pop up, really nice kind of tightening of range here. We're right at a sweet spot. This 1680, 17, that's a show and go right there, baby. XPEV, with NIO going, you never know, right? They set a decent enough trend on it too. ENPH, man, God, this thing's a turd with fleas. It really is. But the big hairy Indian butt is that it's got a range break, and there's not that many of these kind of stocks left on the bottom, right? So we want to be a part of this one too. So I added Airy, all these kind of solars on it. Coop bang, shebang. What you got a little coop bang? Coop bang's awesome. It's like for what I can gather, it's like a mixture of Wish and Alibaba and Amazon, right? And like one sale a day, all like kind of mixed in one. Written in Hebrew and ginseng and shit. It's fantastic. Like, we want to be a part of this. Dude, it's got a nice range right here, 23.50. Let's see what's up. What I didn't like, though, well, what I'm wary of is that you had this breakout here, and then it kind of fizzled out. I don't like seeing that. That's a no-no in my book. So, I'm going to really need to see it firm up before I take a little action on that. But, guys, these Chinese stocks actually held up. So, Baba on the 200-day moving average, right? A lot of these PDDs holding up. Billy Bong had a nice day. So I do think, we could have a little bit of maybe a bounce in China's. What we'd call a engulfing candle today on a yin, right? You had this gap down, a reversal. So let's see. This is, it's coiled up to do it. Let's see if we can get this thing Shreddy McGee and comes out of this zone. So that's it, guys. Oh, add one more of this. This iron, $8. If the crypto stocks hold up, then I want to play this one. And they're not, man. Talk about the biggest layup, these days is like every time the CLSK spikes up, just fade it. Same thing with frickin' Mara, right? Like, good Lord. Talk about widow makers, man, right? Like, if you ever gap up in the morning, do not trust them. But they do rebound pretty well, too. But my worry on this iron is, that CLSK and Mara, they have hated their hearts. They really do. So we do want to be mindful of that. So, guys, I love you guys. Peace. Take care.